and that's why I recommend Lock and Key. Pick it up, read it, get it, whatever, read it. Now I'm telling you, it's great. And the next comic book I want to talk about is one of my favorites and has one of my favorite Marvel characters in it, which you kind of got a little sneak peek of it, and it's in The Incredible Hercules. Now, The Incredible Hercules came up after Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, after Hulk had died, apparently, after he had died. And after he died, and after the events of World War Hulk, after Smash, The Incredible Hercules came up, and Herc pretty much took over the Incredible Hulk book. And I'm trying to say it slow, so because I know I talk fast sometimes, so I'm trying to say it slow so I can pronunciate everything. But anyway, Hercules took over the book, and it was him and Amadeus Cho, and their wacky adventures across the Marvel universe as they try to kill Shield and do all these crazy events. So uh, basically, I gave you a little summary. I'm not gonna spoil too much. It's just pretty much Amadeus Cho, who is the seventh smartest kid. No, the seventh smartest. He's the seventh smartest person in the world, and I think the only people that beat him is like Reed Richards and Dr. Octavius and like some other smart jackasses. But anyway, he's like the seventh smartest person in the world. Then you got Hercules, which is all brawn. So, that's a little team dynamic. You got Hercules, who is the comedy relief. He's all brawn and, no. Well, he's pretty smart, but that's what he is. And you got Amadeus Cho, which is a smart aleck kid. And, they pretty much is, they pretty much have this friendship that pretty much you see kind of like sprout over the course of Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, trying to help the Hulk because they were the Hulk's friends. And then, in this book it's explored more. And I want to just say the writer is Greg Pak, the artist is what's his name? Anyway, it's Van Lente. You can see it there. But anyway, this book pretty much follows them, and they do a whole bunch of things. As you can see, he's fighting Ares, his brother, the god of war, and all kind of stuff happened in this book. And the thing that I like so much about this book is Greg Pak's writing. The art is fantastic. Like, look at that picture, man. He looks badass. He's breaking those chains. The art is always cool, but my favorite thing about this book is that it's so fucking hilarious, and that's why I like Hercules. Because not only is he, he's a Greek god, and I love the Greek mythology. The whole gods, and you got Zeus, and you got Aphrodite, and you got Ares, the god of war, and I played God of War the game a lot, so that really got me into the whole Greek mythology. And in this book, you got Hercules. Now, the cool thing about Hercules that I like about him more than I like about Thor in the Norse mythology is that Hercules seems more down to earth, pretty much, whereas Thor seems more, godly. He's just like, oh, 'tis my friend Iron Man and all that good shit. He's, he talks in that kind of olden day English, I guess you can say, or God speak. I don't know what they call it. Whereas Hercules, it just seems like a normal guy who's like unnecessarily buff, but he seems like a normal guy. He cracks jokes. He's, he goes through normal stuff. He has like normal people problems, and that's just him living, day-to-day life now. When you go into his origins or like his past, and you see all the shit he had to go through, Hercules 12, I think it was challenges or whatever he had to go through to redeem himself after. It just all his shit with his wife. It's some very touching and crazy stuff that happens to Herc. And through all that, he's still like this joking guy who just kind of like just lives his life, and he just kind of just goes wherever he wants and does whatever he wants and fucks anyone he wants. Like, that's the main thing. Like, I like Hercules because he's funny. He's super strong, which is not my favorite superpower, but it's up there because I like when people punch things really hard. But you have him fighting a lot of people in, like, a lot of the heavy hitters in the Marvel universe. He fights Hulk, he fights Namor, he fights Thor on many occasions. Him and Thor are kind of like best friends who are like brothers, but they hate each other. That's what it's kind of like sometimes. So he fights a lot of the heavy hitters. He has super strength on par with Thor. He's been able to take punches and fight the Hulk. And his superpowers are pretty much just super strength, agility. He has a healing factor. He's immortal because he's a god. And he carries around this adamantium mace. It's kind of, I think it's as strong as Thor's hammer. At least that's what he says. And it was made by Hephaestus. I can't pronounce it right. He was in God of War too, but he was ugly as hell. But anyway, he's decked out, man. He has like extreme power, and he's pretty gangster when he's fighting. And it's fun seeing the hilarity between him and Amadeus Cho, and his relationships with all these women in the Marvel universe. I mean, he slept with Black Widow, he slept with She-Hulk, he slept with Namora, who was Namor's cousin, which I think they have something. They got some weird incest thing going on because Namor was getting all jealous and stuff, and that's what sparked this fight that you see in the background. Well, not fight, but this picture pretty much. And she just in the background pouting. It's so much stuff, man. And I really like this book because it's funny. You can relate to Herc and Amadeus, and they go through this crazy adventures. And then at first it's just Amadeus trying to get back his shield for what he did to the Hulk, and then it goes more in depth with the Greek mythology. You start seeing more characters come out, and all these characters, Zeus and all of them coming out, and then they have to deal with them. There's so much stuff. One of my favorite storylines is this one, which was Hercules dressing up as Thor because this big misunderstanding and mishap. He had to dress up as Thor, and then you see him swinging his mace. He has on Thor's costume. I thought it was hilarious, man, because then you also get this, which was Herc dressed up as Thor fighting Thor dressed up as Hercules, and they had like this big war, and it was crazy stuff, man. I really suggest you read it because it's not only funny, but it has badass action, great writing, and great character voices. Pretty much like every character sounds different, and they have like this distinct personalities, pretty much. And it's just so funny, man. I really enjoy this book. And like I said, Herc's always getting into trouble with the ladies, and you gotta shield those kids' eyes. But Hercules is an incredible Hercules. It's a very funny book that I would highly recommend for people to read because the Greek mythology is cool, it's deep, and I like Marvel's take on it because the Norse mythology, they kind of like the royalty of the gods, pretty much. They have Odin, the All-Father. Everybody pretty much talks to him about everything. And in Greek mythology, they run like a business, and Hercules is like the son that doesn't want to take over the family business, so he kind of just like bums it around the world and becomes a superhero. And it's pretty funny stuff. And I keep skipping stuff, but yeah, that's why I would highly recommend Incredible Hercules. Also, I would read Planet Hulk and World War Hulk.